Right now, Gen Z, they're primarily using buy now, pay.
toes.
I just finished.
Has been set in America.
Average unemployment.
Hello?
Hello.
Showing that prediction.
We need some more prediction. Ali, where do you think this is headed?
And you know what's crazy? Yesterday, I was talking to my dad on the way to Salat Jum'ah, and I was like, Baba, I think they're gonna hit them today. And like literally, when I got home after when they hit them at midnight, I looked at my dad with Hinji. I was like, Baba, what did I say? And my dad looked at me back. He was like, Yeah, it is. Like, it's crazy.
Oh my gosh. What are you saying, Zane?
What two things. Where do you think this war is headed, generally? And what's the status on Khamenei?
I guess status on the Khamenei, I mean... Did Israel say they killed him?
No, it's like all these Twitter bots saying, but Zayda said he's gonna give a speech like an hour ago. They said that he's gonna give a speech like soon.
Like they tried to kill him.
Yeah, he was target for sure. Him and Pakistan.
Yeah, but in terms of where this war is headed, I mean, that is just, it's really hard to know.
You know what's crazy? If I'm Israel, you do not want to kill Khamenei, bro. He's the only one that's gonna protect them at this point. Bro, he's the only one that's not allowing nuclear weapons. It's his fatwa that's not allowing nuclear weapons to be pursued. Like, if he's dead, then the next is probably going to be a lot more harsh. He's probably going to allow nuclear weapons to be pursued, and they're probably going to have a nuclear weapon ready.
I wonder how.
He's very lenient.
And he definitely has them picked out by now.
I don't know, it's really hard to know what's happening. Like, it just seems that they're attacking each other, they're attacking all the bases. I wouldn't say so, like...
Yeah, it's hard to say right now.
There's nothing that shows me that Iran has the upper hand. I mean, they attacked a few bases, but whether they had like, severe strikes, doesn't really seem... Yeah, I heard about that. You think they did that on purpose?
I mean, I don't see like why they did it. Like, I don't know.
What do you think?
Doesn't make sense why they would do it. Like,
So you think it was probably like a missed target?
probably because at this stage right now of the war, like it doesn't make sense why they would go, especially when they're trying to play the free the Iranian people card.
So it hurt them.
100% would hurt them.
Yeah.
It's not like it's different than like Gaza, where like Gaza they're just trying to do total annihilation. They'll kill anybody, including kids. It's like they're justified in their eyes to kill kids. Right now they're like, it's not smart for us to kill kids because we like the public already hates us, you know. I don't know. It's like it's like there's like I find it hard to do like let's target this school.
Yeah. I think one thing they might try to do is like weaken the core of Iran to where they can do strikes whenever they want. So it's like if there's ever a strike on Iran, it's like the same thing as them striking Hezbollah. You know, no one really budges an eye. I think that might be one of the goals. You heard they hit Erbil.
Did they actually?
Iran did.
No, I did not see that at all.
They did, yeah. Because there's...
Or just like maybe.
Well, they're shooting a lot of the missiles from Erbil.
Hello?
Hello? Salam. Are they gonna close the Strait of Hormuz? They did? I did not see that. That's what Sneeko is like so stupid. What?
That's like playing the Joker card.
The thing about closing the Strait of Hormuz is that it's gonna be like a complete bloodbath. Well, that's if they fight it navally. I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll just like do the Houthi strategy where they just hit ships.
Yeah, right.
Like I don't think they'll like go on the boats and start doing crazy shit. I don't think that's possible because, well, like that would be like last straw if the missiles don't work.
Dude, I hate these engagement bombers that like they just tweak anything to the source of information.
Sneeko, the you know what Sneeko says?
Jackson Hinkle, like Suleiman, like dude, these niggas just bother me so much.
Wait, I'm gonna try to find something. Look at Jackson Hinkle.
So I've been looking at him. He's like keeps showing up like I saw that.
So cringe. Oh shit, you're right. They said close of Strait of Hormuz. Let me see. Let's see. Are there any commercial planes on Iran?
What about commercial planes?
Oh, there's 0 commercial planes in Iran and Iraq. Dude, my dad is cooked.
I think they closed it instantly. The airspace.
Yeah. There's no airspace in Dubai.
Yeah, no, they closed it instantly last night.
No airspace in Israel.
BRB.
See this, Zane?
Yeah.
It's like hollow.
There's literally nothing there.
You know how like there's random voids in the galaxies?
Yeah,
That's literally what it is, yeah. Dude, but Iran needs to do a severe blow in order to like, you know, do something, bro. Give us something. This is why I was like never optimistic about these like niggas saying, you know, if Iran gets striked, they're gonna shoot 3,000 missiles in one go and destroy the world. There's like so many niggas were saying that. I'm like, bro, there's no way the United States would attack Iran if Iran can just do that. There's just no way. Yeah.
You see what Yasin said?
Let me see. I mean, I don't know. Nancy Pelosi. I mean, Trump's violated the Constitution a billion times. Yeah, it's nothing really special. How many times has he violated it? Like, this is like the 50th time we've heard that.
Yeah, but you think that there's the first sign, someone pretty big.
Nah, I don't think so. Like, even the Democrats support this entire thing. Everyone's on board with it. Like, you look at Shisma. You look at Europe, they're all on board. You look at Australia, they're all supporting it. Like, there's no real resistance in terms of the elite. They all support it. Sirens in Israel.
My phone is about to blow up. It's about to overheat, bro.
What did you say?
My phone's about to overheat. Let me look at my computer.
Did you have good sleep yesterday?
I had shitty sleep.
Oh my god.
I'll be back.
On camera. Joanne?
Sure. Not really, actually. I'm thirsty.
So how's the war?
Iran is like that, bro.
That's what I always say.
Like it's like it's, the more times like they get basically like tested like this, the more I just call bluff on so much that they say.
Yeah.
Like it's like we have this, we have that, and this and that.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
bro, it's like no, you don't. Okay.
Like the only thing you can look at is that Iran's is squishy. They're like a soft squish,
Yeah.
and that the United States, because Iran is so massive, for the United States to do attacks on it, like it'll cost a lot of money because of how big it is.
Yeah.
What?
Like, to be honest, like the way they should be doing it is obviously like it's not, I guess, their fault, but like dude, they should be delaying as much as they could, like not be like if you. I mean, I guess you have no choice.
No, they were delaying, to be honest.
I know. It's just
Like with the negotiations.
I just look at it in a perfect world, delay it to the point where it never happens, but that's not realistic.
I mean, the truth is that if you look at it, Iran was literally put in a complete corner. They have no choice. Like the way the United States does deals, Cameron, is that they give you two choices: die or die later. Which one do you choose? Like, the United States is not gonna give like a deal where Iran can win. There's no such thing as that. Yeah.
Obviously, it's like I know. It's just like I'm
Yeah.
in a perfect world.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Delayed so long that we just never even get to see it. But
Yeah.
it's so unrealistic.
Like they had a deal with Iran back in 2015 that it solved all the issues, solved the nuclear issue, but you know why they broke it?
Why?
Well, the United States broke it. Trump broke it in 2016 because Iran was like not sanctioned, so like they're thriving. So, and Israel wants like Iran to be completely, destroyed.
Right. They don't
So-
want to see anybody winning.
Yeah. So Trump, he broke the agreement.
Of the world. They're the biggest haters. Oh my god. But yeah, dude, it's honestly like social media in the last a few years ago, the sources, there weren't so many trash sources. Now literally most of the things like I'm seeing are like
So bad. It is so bad.
Yeah, it's crazy. they're
it's more it's like 70%, 75% click farm.
yeah. Like they reuse they're like bro, they're
I'm
just
seeing
saying
clips from like 3 years ago.
literally.
I'm like, nigga, they're like just in.
Oh, dude, that was yeah.
From 3 years.
I saw like Keemstar. He literally posted footage from like the 12-day war. I'm like, this nigga, so
They're so
stupid.
retarded.
Dude, they're just trying to get a check.
But yeah, dude, the clip farm is insane. It's like, how do most of the niggas, when they see such crazy news, like, there's people that are just like, okay, clip farm, what do I say right now?
I would love to see what these facts with the anti-Iran like the anti-Iran Iranians think about them blowing up this school.
Probably don't care, honestly.
It's just good. Don't speak on it if you're not Iranian.
No, the reason why they have such a loud voice is because after the Iranian Revolution, the United States pretty much brought them all here.
Yeah.
That's why they have such a loud voice. Like, people think they're the majority, but they're not. They're like a very small fraction.
No, that's what I do. That's what I've been saying for like how long now? Very small. Like, if the population of Iran is at like in almost 90 million, if you have just like 50,000 people, that's like less than 1%. But it's like, but 50,000 is still a large number of people, regardless of the outcome. It's still like a lot of people. So when they see them gathered, like, oh my god, like this is crazy, you know. It's very like it's like this classic social media like microscope. Like, we've talked about this many times. Actually.
Yeah. Scott, what's going on? Is anything crazy going on? Nothing.
But there are also a lot of people that don't want any of this.
Dude, at first I was thinking about the Strait of Hormuz, because Iran exports its oil through the Strait of Hormuz, so if they were to close it, like, they would also lose tons of money, since that's their main output. But then I actually found out that during the 12-day war, they weren't even exporting any oil. So it's like, it doesn't even matter whether they close it or not. But you know what the biggest problem about closing the Strait of Hormuz? I think I told you, right?
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, I was zoned out.
I forgot what I was even talking about. What was it? Oh yeah, with the Strait of Hormuz. Did you hear the beginning or no?
No, I just zoned out clear when you started talking.
Oh, so at first I was like, you know, Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz, it won't be that easy because it would hurt them a ton, because that's where they also export their oil, right?
Yeah.
But then I realized during the 12-day war that they weren't even exporting oil, because they're just, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, closing it.
It's like the same thing almost.
Yeah. The problem with closing is that it affects China the most.
Yeah, it puts the pressure on China.
It puts the pressure on China and Asia, yeah. China's literally get destroyed. So maybe America wants them to close it for China.
Or maybe this puts the pressure on China to like step in. Well, they're not going to.
But no way.
If China steps in, this will be a bloodbath.
Yeah, they're not going to though.
Dude, I'm so hungry, bro. Why am I so hungry? What'd you guys eat yesterday?
I ate like a chicken sandwich.
What did I eat? I ate...
What did you eat?
May Allah destroy the backs of Shias who curse our mother Aisha and our beloved Sahabas Omar, Abu Bakr, and Uthman.
5 days in the country.
May Allah
And what
protect
he's
our
gonna do,
Sunnis in Iran.
I'm telling you right now, remember this when it happens. He is
Shias
going
destroy each
to
other.
apply extreme pressure behind the scenes to tell Trump, if you don't go to war with Iran right now, we are going to make you look like that these files can make you look
What do
like.
you think?
We are going to ruin your life.
Wait, what? No, I just saw that tweet, bro. Oh my gosh, I just saw that tweet. That's so funny.
So funny.
I need all my resources for that. Feels a distinct sense of unease. Despite everything you read.
It's kind of slow, huh, Sam?
Yeah.
Hassan Abi's live. You like Hassan Abi?
It's alright.
What about Asmongold?
In their crusty boxers and watch their faces fucking defend themselves, decrepit Twitch streamers, and think, no, this force projection is good. It makes me feel Your life sucks. Your life sucks. You have no freedom. You're fucking cattle. You are literally a goddamn slave. Some of you are slaves without actually even working, but that's just the reality, right? I myself am a part of this process as well. I play a role in this fucking scam. I play a role in the song and dance as well. I try to yell, I try to wake people up to these realities, but for the most part, you know, it's very difficult for people to even envision any sort of change, because we have been reduced to being servile cattle for many years at this point. Many generations.
Wait, what time did it happen? 2 a.m.?
No, it happened at midnight. When
I'll just hit this early.
when Iran was first hit, it happened like midnight.
Did you see it like right away?
Yeah, like right away.
How'd you find out?
I think show me through the telegrams though.
Inshallah, one day.
I mean, this was before Twitter.
In any case,
Did you guys get good sleep last night?
here, you want to see who you're doing this for. Remember why this is happening. When gas prices shoot up because the Strait of Hormuz is now officially mined and dammed and closed, and that's like 10% of fucking all global oil commerce that won't happen any longer, and all of a sudden you're at the fucking pump and you're like, why is gas $15 a gallon? How did this happen? Remember who you're fighting for.
Not really. They pay you scraps. No, even if you get tons of views, they still pay you like scraps apparently.
When you
It's
think
like
to yourself,
an extremely
why
famous
don't
guy I know
know,
gets like $1,000 a month.
countries that have
It's
significantly
pretty.
less money than the United States of America can offer free healthcare. Well, they have free healthcare in
So
Israel.
what tweets are you talking about that makes money?
For
Which
the
ones?
record, they have free healthcare in Israel. Just so you know, they don't have to worry.
No,
about
like, what
defense,
content?
For example, you want to know why they don't have to fucking worry about defense? Because we got that shit covered, baby. USS Gerald Ford.
Which one makes the most?
Is encircling the Israeli coastline.
Yes, but in terms of,
maximum defense for Israel as
you
we
know.
fight Israel's war in Iran.
That's what I'm saying. He makes like 1,000
You know, remember that.
on like politics when he makes.
I don't even have.
Why is your phone? Why are you guys? What?
Anyway, I think this
Oh,
is
the
a video
FaceTime?
from the last time this was
You guys, should I screen share?
blow up
You guys want screen share?
Iran decided to retaliate.
Dude, like I see my volume's
Working Class Magic, did you see Israel responded to you?
just turn back the volume.
Oh, great. There's no such thing as a preemptive strike, I said. Israel is striking Iran in spite of the negotiations that the Oman mediators tried to publicize in the U.S. media to avoid this exact outcome. Little did they know, Israel gets what it desires, even if it collapses the West. That's awesome. I'll be sending that GIF back when people are talking about how scared they are in the bomb shelter.
Already launched dozens of ballistic missiles at Israel. And Qatari officials say that Qatar already intercepted 2 Iranian missiles, indicating Iran is carrying out that plan to retaliate. And our team is up and covering this breaking story from around the world. We'll get to Zach Cohen and Elena Cream in just a moment, but I want to start with CNN Jeremy Diamond first. He's in Tel Aviv. Jeremy, have any of the Iron Dome intercepted any of those missiles? Is there a timing on when those might arrive?
Well, we certainly know that Iran has already fired a barrage of ballistic missiles at Israel. We had sirens going off not only here in Tel Aviv, but also in Jerusalem, in northern Israel, in southern Israel. Pretty much Israelis everywhere across the country.
Honestly, the Sunni position has like shifted a lot. Like they used to be like, oh, fireworks, every single one of them, but now it's they're a minor fraction.
Okay, so the short and sweet of it is, last night at around 10:30 p.m. Pacific time, as I was laying in bed, trying to close my eyes to wake up and work out early in the morning and go live with the hopes that, like, Iran had still not been struck, I found out that Iran had, as a matter of fact, been struck by Israel and the United States of America. Okay? They tried to do an early decapitation strike, hit numerous cities from Isfahan to Tehran and many others. They blew up schools because obviously Israel can't fucking not blow up schools. Like, I need you to understand, Israel doesn't fucking blow up a school every week. They will literally implode. Do you want Israel to implode? Do you want Israel to do you want the Israeli government to engage in collective suicide? How anti-Semitic of you. Okay? How anti-Semitic of you to think these thoughts? Of course Israel has to fucking kill school children overseas. Israel has to kill school children on a weekly fucking basis. Do you understand? They have to do it. They have to do it. This is the only way to liberate the masses. Okay? The Israeli economy runs on exploded school children, and some school children have to fucking die. 40 elementary school schoolgirls killed, 9 to 13 years old. Thank you, Israel. Thank you, America. In any case, they did all of that, and Iran retaliated. And this retaliation is different from the 12-Day War. You will never get the full scope of exactly what's going on if you go on fucking Twitter, unless you know exactly what to look for, because the entire information apparatus on social media is polluted with bots, polluted with human beings that operate like fucking bots. Okay? It's insane. Misinformation of epic magnitude. And no, the Gulf states are not actually receiving the brunt of this impact. The Gulf states that have American radar systems inside of American fucking bases inside of the Gulf states are receiving the brunt of the impact, with the exception of Dubai. Dubai has actually received a little bit more. The Gulf states will receive even more of the bombing, but so far, the reason why I say it's a little bit different than the 12-Day War is because Iran immediately retaliated by striking American radar systems in Bahrain, in the UAE, in Qatar. And they've actually effectively taken out multiple billions of dollars worth of radar systems and early advanced warning systems that the American government has designed all around the region. Now, of course, America knew this was going to happen, just so you know, because that is going to yield tremendous prosperity for the military-industrial complex. You blow up $2 billion worth of radar systems, but guess what? That means we got to rebuild. That means new contracts. That means new fucking contractors. That means new workers that will fly out into the Gulf and rebuild those military bases. So that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. America knew that was going to happen. That's why they brought in their entire AWACS fleet. The aerial surveillance systems that we have at our disposal, created by Lockheed Martin, created by Boeing as well. The surveillance systems are flying around. All around, it basically in like a perfect single file line from Iran all the way to Israel to protect, of course, the Holy Land, the most important country on the planet. Not your state, not Wyoming. The only state in the United States of America that matters, the state of Israel. So, just remember that. Every single Gulf country is being hammered currently that have American bases are being hammered fucking currently. And presently. They are destroying billions of dollars of American equipment inside of American bases. I've seen videos in Bahrain of even Shahed drones blowing up the American base. Shahed drones can be shot down with an AK-47. That's how little America gives a shit about its goddamn assets in the region. If you wanted to, if you're wondering what the situation looks like, Shahed drones are so fucking slow, you can shoot them down with an AK-47, and they're currently striking they're currently striking American bases in Bahrain. The naval base in Bahrain is being struck. Okay? Iranian drone hits the vicinity of Burj Khalifa in Dubai.
Very hard.
The IRGC has officially announced the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. The economy about to buckle. Inshallah, the economy will buckle. These people that lead these countries are fucking animals. Do you understand? They're animals. They do not care about you.
Hi, Yasin. How was the sleep last
They
night?
suffer as a consequence of their actions.
I was asleep last
They
night.
only fucking respond. They only respond to force. They only respond to military deterrence. They only respond to pressure. And it's literally, we have to be the pressure. We have to be the pressure. We have to take it to the streets. We have to fucking protest. We have to put an end to this kind of action. We have to demand an end, sever ties with Israel. We have to demand an end to American imperialism. It's done. Okay? It's done. There is no other way out of this. Note the book on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's death during this call today with President Trump is historian Tim Bouvier's book, Allies at War, about how the Allies defeated Hitler in World War II.
What?
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during his conversation with U.S. President real Donald Trump. I bet his bitch ass is fucking having that conversation in some Greek military facility too. Drone strike in Dubai. Yeah, Israel is fucking. I mean, not Israel. Sorry, Iran is pummeling Dubai. If you notice, out of all the Gulf countries, like Dubai is getting hit the hardest. This to me shows that they're. This to me shows that there's a reason, right? Like they are very deliberate about who they are attacking and why they're attacking the countries that they are attacking. Dubai is obviously, the UAE is obviously Muslim Israel. For those of you who don't fucking know, I know many of you think, oh no, that's like a pedophile cryptocurrency safe haven. That's basically in Miami. The UAE's foreign policy and like regional leadership is basically to be the Muslim version of Israel. Okay. They're right there. Whenever Israel's doing stuff, Dubai, the UAE is right there. Okay. And for the record, Iran did warn every other country in the region. And Iran did say, if you do this, it will be a regional war. If you do this, if you back us into a corner, we will fight back. And of course, you know, that is the case.
Hi, Yasin. Thoughts? Thoughts?
Again, that's a Shahed drone. Like, that's crazy.
How optimistic are you?
Bro, you really actually don't need, like...
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Like, I was thinking about this with, like, the Afghanistan, the
Really?
Taliban, Pakistan fight that was taking place.
Oh, damn.
And I was really thinking about this. You really don't need suicide bombing anymore. You know, because like the Taliban guy was like, oh, you have nuclear arms, but we have like suicide bombers. Like, we'll just blow up your country with suicide bombers. And it's like, you really don't need that anymore in drone warfare, right? You don't need that at all. Just make fucking drones. You can purchase them from, you know, you can purchase them in the online marketplace. Like, China literally sells like explosive ordnance delivery mechanisms that you can put to a DJI drone that you can purchase like at virtually no significant cost in comparison to, like, you know, sophisticated equipment that you need to put together. So I guess like you kind of at that point you're doing that for the love of the game, right? Like, you're doing suicide bombing just for the love of the game, because like you want to keep it old school. Is that what it is?
I'm just waiting for, like, you know, crazy strike, you know?
Why is bro saying that? I'm just saying, it's like insane that, I mean, this is functionally what you can get away with if you
The USA's been kind of slow too.
it's somewhat
Well,
difficult to pull off suicide bombing shit, right? And instead, you're just using a Shahed drone that's like what, $10,000? It's crazy. It's crazy how terrifying this process is.
I guess they're expecting more Tel Aviv hit than rather the bases.
Apparently they said they only want to do the strikes for 4 days. You heard that?
No, the thing is, I mean, I'm happy the bases are gonna grow. Like majority of these bases are like 80 to 90% evacuated.
Anyway.
Like the ones in Qatar, like all of the planes are gone. All
But
the
isn't suicide bombers cheaper than drones? Yeah, but it's there's no guarantee.
Like, what do they expect for them to have once they hit, you know,
A suicide bombing campaign is an incredibly difficult thing to pull off, dude. First of all, you need people that are diehard zealots, quite literally. The IEDs are like not very expensive. They're not very sophisticated, but at the end of the day, like pulling off a successful suicide bombing operation is really fucking difficult. You need to have a human asset on the ground. Drones, on the other hand, yeah, sure, it's like 10 grand. Like a Shahed drone specifically is like $10,000 or whatever. But you know, you can.
It's so easy to milk a reaction out of it.
You don't have like there. It's not. It's has a much higher success rate.
I just saw a video. Well, I saw it like.
And more ordnances, more explosive ordnances on the drone itself.
Really like just like the rockets, like Iran they always do. Yeah. And it's playing Quran, like about a verse about like fighting till death or something like that.
That's crazy.
The background of the Quran is like also like a mafia or shur.
Holy shoot! You guys saw the building?
They're doing
Oh my
piecemeal
god.
Shahed strikes on residential buildings, dude.
You know, like they're playing both of them. Yeah. Light and the Quran is the main sound, but the shur is like it's so bad.
Yo, did you guys see the strike on the building or no? Dude, what the hell? Some building in Dubai. They shot like a building, like straight up 9/11 style. They shot a building straight up 9/11 style. I think. You guys saw that one, right?
If you're living in one of these Gulf countries,
The interceptor hit the building.
Look at the buildings in the bottom. No, they did strike at the Al Udeid base, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like. What do you call it? I don't know if this image is fake or not, but they did actually strike the Iranians.
Yeah, people saying it's a drone.
Al Udeid Air Base radar. They did actually do that.
Yeah,
The photo itself might be fake. I'm saying. The photo itself that you guys sent me might be fake, but they did strike the radar base in Qatar. Like there is literally a fucking video of it. You know, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is the one in Bahrain.
5 minutes later, they changed their report. We targeted his son, but we don't think we succeeded. So like every channel was like posting like different things.
The first round.
Yeah. I'm like,
the first round of strikes.
I woke up, I'm like.
The first round of strikes came towards the Gulf states, and immediately they went in and struck all of the American bases that have early warning systems, radars in all of the Gulf states, and then after they were done with that, they have not stopped pummeling Israel as well.
Yeah, they said the spring leader will be within minutes.
All this is distraction from the FC files, no joke? No, brother.
I mean, you are right. Never mind.
No.
You saw the building?
This is not a distraction from the Epstein files. This is a 50-year project for Israel. This is so much more consequential than the fucking Epstein files. Like, this is not even a... That's crazy. This is a 50-year project by Israel, this
No, there's no way
project
that's
also
fake.
corresponds to American interests in the region in general. They always wanted no sovereignty for Iran. They always wanted the Iranian oil as well. They wanted America has always wanted to have complete monopoly over the cartel, OPEC plus. Obviously, you have state actors that are not always going to be compliant, but as long as you have some servile Gulf nation states like Saudi Arabia, like UAE, and then you also destroy Iran or remove Iranian sovereignty or completely take over the Iranian oil refinery process, then you have a significant upper hand in this cartel. You can control the petrodollar to the best of your ability. You can use it as a significant point of leverage against your foreign adversaries like China. This is 50 years in the making. This isn't a new thing at all, and it's finally happening because Israel has lost all of its Western support. So this is perhaps the last time that they can do it.
I'm going to make a prediction, and I'm going to post it now on Twitter, and this video may be leaked. And a week from now, we can see a full-blown Middle Eastern war, and everybody can retweet this and mock me. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think this is all the advertising. This is bullshit. I don't think this is a real war. I think that we have some shrapnel from interceptors just falling inside Dubai and cause fires, yes. But Dubai is not being bombed. Tel Aviv is not being bombed. Tehran is not being bombed. This is all global repositioning for a new future in the Middle East. Everyone who has decided not to move to Dubai, now laughing at people who decided to move to Dubai, stability and safety. They're saying, look, Dubai's being bombed. Look, you should have stayed here. We have to face constant and persistent threat of crime, and then you might get robbed for your walk or stabbed to death. And you have to get half your money for hostile government. Ha ha ha, you moved to Dubai, you're getting blown up. Nobody's getting blown up. Interceptors from UAE are taking down Iranian drones and missiles, yes. There have been some shrapnel just falling and causing fires. This is not a bombing. Anybody who remembers the Iraq War, remembers the videos of Baghdad, when a real war begins. That hasn't happened in Dubai, hasn't happened in Tehran, and certainly hasn't happened in Tel Aviv. A real war would see Tehran currently in an entire ball of fire. What do you see coming out of Tehran? A plume of smoke on the outskirts of a people going out war. That's not.
Engage in this war of attrition while destabilizing the entire global economy, which they have the capability to do. America will most likely collapse.
Like the main, that's where you do your.
I just don't see any clean way out of this. As we've talked about, as I talked about with Ben
Dude,
Rhodes,
you saw what Andrew Tate said?
ironically enough, Ben Rhodes,
He's supporting Dubai.
advisor to Barack Obama, who played
I swear.
the JCPOA, the Iran denuclearization deal.
He's glazing Dubai. He's like, Dubai kicked down some Iranian missiles. He said the war's fake. This is not a real war.
America and Israel's interest in
He's pretty much standing with Dubai, pretty much.
was never about denuclearization.
He got the call.
Obama basically proved that because Obama was able to get a successful multilateral deal through.
He said there's no missiles that exist. They're all fake. That's what he said.
So, what this is theatrical. This is the reorganization of internal Iranian divisions. There's a huge divide inside Iran. A lot of people want the leadership to fall. A lot of people are actually pro-America, pro-West. And this is just a simple global repositioning. Because the people in charge have to save face, and the people who are not in charge are trying to gain power. And this is a repositioning on the global stage for Iran to become a country which is no longer a threat to the West, so the West can focus on China. This is a play. This is an act. Why is Tel Aviv on fire? Why is there the odd plume of smoke here, the odd little drop of fire over there? Same with Tehran. Why? Yeah, Dubai shot down interceptors. Yes, some of them fallen. Yes, there's a few fires here and there. I'm not saying nobody has died. Of course, less people have died than have died from drug overdoses or crime in the West. So it's still safe place to be. But you think this is a real war, and you don't understand this is bullshit. That's going to be over in 48 hours. So everyone can stand around and talk about the war that happened. Talk about the bombings that happened. Decide that we need new policies regarding oil. That we need new policies regarding the Red Sea, the Houthis. And we can change the shipping lanes. And we can make sure that the regime falls in this place. And that when you're doing that now, you can say how important it is. And you get billions of more dollars from America. If you think this is a real war that happened in Iraq, you're done. Study the videos of the beginning of the Iraq War 2003. And look at the videos that are coming out of these countries now. I thought Iran and Israel were at war. I see fucking campfires. And the odd plume of smoke. This is bullshit. This is a play. None of this is real. Dubai is still safe. Tel Aviv is still safe. Tehran is still safe. Aside Tehran, they are reorganizing politically. America is doing very best to put on place the outside world. A deal has been done. Everyone has agreed to do certain things so that everybody can save face and everybody is happy with the end result. Just like last time. So Iran is striking a whole bunch of empty American military bases with no one on them. A couple of missiles get shot down and those interceptors cause fires inside Dubai. Yes, it's true, that is happening. A couple of stupid buildings on the outskirts of Tehran and the outskirts of Tel Aviv get set on fire. And 2 days from now, Emirates Airlines is going to be 5 people first class, 5 bombs, party next to a pool. If you think this is a real war, you don't understand how the world works. People have sat around the table and said, okay, now everyone's expecting this big war. We want this, we want that. How do we reposition things so America can focus on China? You just tell Venezuela, we're your next big problem. How do we reposition everything so that America, Trump looks like a badass, so that the leader of Iran doesn't look too stupid, so that the people who want the leader of Iran to fall
was probably good for you somehow, personally. You are the biggest loser. You're the biggest dumbass of all time. America does not give a fuck about democracy. America doesn't even give a fuck about democracy in America. America doesn't even care about American citizens. America certainly doesn't even care about American military members. We literally parked 50% of our naval assets in and around Israel and in and around Iran. If you think that we care about what happens to them, you are fucking delusional. Okay? Yeah, you're the guy who goes to the strip club and says, no, you don't understand. You see, Hassan, the stripper does love me, actually. She told me. She loves me. I believe her.
Man, Mickey, this is the 3rd time they're sending airstrikes to Hana.
They're hitting Erbil, right?
No, Erbil was like apparently Iran or Iraq attacking by American.
You are all, at best, human shields. Okay? Your worth to the American government, to the Israeli government, is either a human shield, collateral damage. maybe productive forces if you are productive to a certain degree, you know.
Wait.
And in that video of the, wallahi, I'm not an alim. I ain't got no plan no more.
Wait, did they attack Erbil, Ali, or no? Did they attack Erbil?
No, America.
What is this? Saved as modded GIF.
Iran.
Someone sent something to Erbil. I don't know if there was anything, but someone sent. I don't know if it was Arab or Iran.
Do we have a blast off meme, by the way? I didn't even blast off yet. It's 48
Dude, Erbil
minutes
is like the
in and I
hot
just
spot for American.
started fucking going in. I was not expecting Iran to fire into like 5 countries.
It's like that's what. It's like whenever I see a nigga working in Erbil, I'm like, what you doing, bro? It's like, there's so many people who have that type of job, you know? Yeah, I'm just working in Erbil for the American government.
And you know my uncle was there when the first hit happened in Bahrain?
Really?
No way.
Yeah.
My God.
He went downtown to go get my grandma like some medicine.
Jeez,
He just saw like happen right there. He's like throwing his life.
that's actually horrifying.
When I got home, my mom was on the phone with my uncle.
Holy crap.
He was just concerned like, how the hell am I gonna get home? He's just concerned with the traffic. What should he do? Like you're just stuck in. He's like, I don't know how I'm gonna get home.
Every bomb that is used yields economic activity because every bomb that is used must be replenished.
I guess yeah.
That's why, you know, in this day and age, war is not meant to be won. War is meant to simply continue. And it has been continuing. And there is a fairly sophisticated media apparatus that has made you think that war is not happening all the time, when it, as a matter of fact, very clearly is happening all the fucking time, right? Whether it be Iran today, or Afghanistan and Iraq yesterday, Libya, Syria. There is constant destabilization taking place. That's happening all the time, yeah. Also, this is what war looks like for Americans in Bahrain. Bahrain is basically the cushiest job in the Gulf too. Look. Like, look at this motherfucker's house, bro. Why is he not scooping up poop inside of the USS Gerald Ford? Why is he fucking sitting? Jamal Bowie is retweeting that you're anti-Semitic and insane on Blue Sky. Jamal Bowie is calling you anti-Semitic and insane on Blue Sky. Oh, fucking discourse machine, dude. Yes. Oh no! Oh no! A New York Times reporter has called me anti-Semitic. A New York Times reporter is calling me anti-Semitic. A New York Times reporter who is a fucking adult. Almost 40.
Empty out the base before the hit started, and bring all of their stuff to Britain and Israel. So, but none of that tax came from Saudi. So Saudi said we won't let them do it. So America just took it beforehand. Iran still targeted them with 2 missiles though. But I don't think it got intercepted. Saudi is like, what the hell? We said we don't want to be involved. We told you we're not letting America use our airspace. So why are you attacked? Why are you going to our airspace?
Niggas, they're acting, they're hitting actually they're shooting their faces against them.
I know.
Dramatic.
Imagine if this war just ends and they're like, alright guys, ceasefire.
Well, that was one of the reasons I sent that text about Pelosi, is because if Trump is dissatisfied with it, and then you have the head of the Democrats say you're dissatisfied, I think it's easy to
Wait, Trump actually said he's dissatisfied? I didn't see that.
he didn't say it, but it's definitely a report. So
I doubt it, honestly. There's no way he'd say that. That would hurt him a lot.
Released anything since yesterday, but I'm saying, apparently reports are, they're not happy with, the way things are going.
Because the same shit where they're like, Trump is mad at Netanyahu.
No, not mad at him. Mad at, he's, underwhelmed or disappointed
Who is America?
No, how many missiles does Iran have?
Oh, I have no idea. That's like the biggest question.
The American counterpart is run out of tomahawk missiles. That's okay. You fight it. One fighter jet right now, you have like 100 more fighters. But in Iran, your only attack is just the missiles.
Yeah.
So if you launch 1,000 of them on day one, like
How many do they have?
yeah, how many do you have? Because remember the estimate, I mean, no one knows the number, but the accurate number is anywhere from only 3,000, which I thought was bullshit. Never believed that number.
Yeah.
To 20,000 to 50,000 to this, and like, I mean, I don't think anyone knows. Like, I really don't know.
Yeah.
But,
Like, there's some people who were saying that Iran was getting better at hitting Israel during the end of the 12-day war because they, like, you know, they figured out. Or
well, that's because the interceptors were
running out?
yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're also using a lot less missiles. You know, like, they're using, like, 40 missile volleys, and then it was, like, 5, and then 3, and then 2, and then...
Yeah, that's true, but when they sent the 5, they were sending more of the, like, when they sent 40, like, maybe a couple of those were the good ones, and, like, the vast majority was just, I don't call it decoys, but, like, just, like, you know...
Weak ones, old.
Yeah, these are the ones that probably get intercepted. If they get through, they get through, but, like, if then you send your hypersonic, like, hitting the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to go east, bro.
And apparently, a large part of the missiles actually went in the ocean from Iran during the 12-day war. Yeah, like there was a map on all the strikes. When?
Iran's getting hit hard.
What, they hit a missile depot? It's honestly so weird how, like, we're witnessing this in real time. Like, I was never into politics like this before. Like, it's kind of crazy how, like, we're witnessing this war in real time. What, they got hit? Which one is it? The missile factory?
I don't know what it is.
Is it actually that bad?
I mean, it's a pretty big hit. It looks like it is a missile depot, like just a little secondary. It's pretty sad seeing Israel release those videos of like you see the people getting the launchers ready, and then then Israel bombs them.
Yeah.
Like you see the people in the
Yeah, I know.
It happened again?
Yeah, I saw 2 of them so far. 2 different videos of like people getting the launchers ready before they can launch.
Is it real or is it old?
No, it's real. Like Israel released it.
Today?
Yeah.
Jeez.
IDF posted it.
Yeah.
That's because the IDF literally posted it. Israel has the right to defend itself.
I know, right?
Man, I literally thought it was a meme at first. I was like, no way, this is the actual account.
Oh my god, dude.
What's the name?
I used to go to school with this girl, like Irani girl. She's like super pro Shah, like super. And her dad actually used to come to the lecture.
Is she famous on Twitter?
No, this one I went to school with. Like,
Oh.
she's not famous, like she's just a classmate. I have on Instagram. Like it's just Irani.
I see.
And her dad actually used to come to the lecture, but there's no way I can like tell you. Her dad doesn't come anymore. This guy used to come like 10 years ago, but not anymore. It's like I don't even know his name. Like I saw a picture and I was like, oh yeah, I know this guy. Like, but he doesn't come anymore. It's like, oh, I can't tell you who he is. I can't tell you who he is, but like all she posts is like Shaw stuff, and it's so annoying. Who is he? Who is he?
Holy crabs!
Look at my camera. This dude's modded because he's looking for March. Bro, go get that graded name. Go get it, like, bro. He actually has an insane.
Where did he get that from? He probably does it, but he was trolling him.
Anyway.
Why were you trolling?
Yeah, so boycotting, that's why many of the ulama
This is the one I was thinking of. That's a radar dome, no? They just straight up took out a fucking a radar system with literally a Shahed drone. That does not happen unless America totally wrote that off, okay? Like, that literally only happened because America was like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. Yeah, blow it up. We'll make a new one.
So, like, obviously NASA doesn't know, but, like,
Do you understand?
because I'm sitting behind him, I just see, like, I keep seeing a laser dot on his head, and then
That's a Shahed drone. Look how fucking slow it flies. You can literally shoot that out of the sky with an AK-47, okay? Wanted that to happen. America wanted you to see that this was going on. That's a $10,000 drone that just
Yeah, guys, look at the link I send the message.
radar equipment. Like radar equipment. It's a SATCOM radar.
Look at it.
Yeah, that's your healthcare blowing up, by the way. That's your healthcare blowing up. You just watch your fucking healthcare blowing up. Why would Americans have an AK-47 that's a commie weapon? I'm just saying. That's your taxes being lit on fire. Every time you see one of these fucking things blow up, I need you to think about it like that, okay? Every time you see that, the $1.5 billion radar was destroyed, but this one in the video cost $18 million. Sorry, this is a $18 million radar. Okay, great.
I think that is funny.
No, because I packed it inside the store, and the owner came up to me and he said, "Yes, this car."
Just look at everything that this guy's tweeting. What is this? Current state of the Strait of Hormuz, which has been closed by the IRGC. Yeah, the U.S. The U.S. has its own energy. It hurts China more to have it disrupted. Are you not in agreement?
Dude, this probably has no money on it. There's no This guy. What's
Yeah, if you're a postdoc, you can't get grants. If you're a researcher, you can't get funding, right? If you were a public sector employee, you got fired. If you needed SNAP benefits and you were one of the hundreds of thousands that no longer can get that SNAP benefit, you now have to eat less food. But we can go and do this shit. We can go and move 50% of our naval assets, tens of billions of dollars can be spent moving entire islands basically to this region and go to war and blow up fucking school children overseas. It is ridiculous. And quite frankly, I hate to say this over and over again, but we are fucking cattle. Okay, we're cattle. We have nothing to say for this. We have nothing that we can do about this. We have nothing that we can do to organize. That's it. Like we just watch it from afar, like it's a fucking movie, and you know, not really much we can do. And this fucking dipshit gets to direct all of those resources. Breaking, the building is in the Grand Air Hotel, which frequently hosts senior U.S. military officers located close to U.S. 5th Fleet headquarters.
They thought he can win based on that's what I said, like, with the
Told Reuters the strait is a narrow choke point with just 21 to 33 kilometers wide at its tightest between Iran to the north and Oman and UAE to the south. Roughly 20 to 30% of the global seaborne crude oil, about 20 to 21 million barrels per day, moves through it. Major exporters, including Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, the UAE, and Qatar, depend on this single route to supply global markets.
So it looks like the war has begun, and this time it's all or nothing. The United States and Israel appear to be aiming for regime change in Iran, with rumors already coming out that Supreme Leader Khamenei has been killed. Meanwhile, Iranian drones and missiles coming out that Supreme Leader Khamenei has been killed. Meanwhile, Iranian drones and missiles continue to rain down all across the Middle East, and some of them are getting through. I mean, this is a video from just a few hours ago showing an Iranian Shahed-style drone striking a radar station at the U.S. naval base in Bahrain. This is a major facility, the head of U.S. 5th Fleet. And the reason I'm showing that is because this time is different. We're not seeing these symbolic tit-for-tat retaliations with the goal of reestablishing deterrence and avoiding escalation. This is Iran throwing everything they have at the United States and Israel, threatening a broader regional war. The Iranian regime views this as their last stand, which is probably why in his address to the American people last night, President Trump warned that this operation very well could cost the lives of America's sons and daughters. Let's turn to President Trump announcing this operation last night. It's a long address. We're just going to play a couple clips. Here we go.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world.
Now, later in his speech, President Trump went on to explain kind of the objectives or goals of this operation, and in summary, it's everything. He said, quote, "We're going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. We're going to annihilate their navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon." So in recent videos, we talked a lot about what exactly is the goal, what are we going for here, everything. I mean, President Trump in his speech gave an address to the Iranian people saying when this is done, it'll be your chance, stand up, take over your government. So regime change, missiles, nuclear program, proxies, everything is on the table as per President Trump last night. Now, it sounds like the name of the U.S. operation is Epic Fury. We have some additional details from Fox News correspondent Jennifer Griffin, who spoke with some Pentagon officials, who said that this is the first time that the United States has used one-way attack drones in combat. As of now, we don't have any footage of those being utilized. She said the U.S. military has been focused on high-value targets, IRGC significant facilities and capabilities, naval facilities, and underground facilities likely associated with the nuclear program. The U.S. official said that we have effectively suppressed the Iranian air defenses, and more on why that's important and what that could mean here in a moment. She adds that there were hundreds of targets in what is being described as a multi-day operation, and the U.S. official added that the Iranian response has so far been ineffective. Of course, we're going to take a look at the Iranian response so far. And we know at this point this is a joint U.S.-Israeli operation. The name of the Israeli operation was Roaring Lion. Their IDF put out a statement saying, quote, "The IDF and U.S. armed forces have launched a broad and joint campaign to thoroughly degrade the Iranian terrorist regime and to remove existential threats to the state of Israel over time. The Iranian regime has not abandoned its plan to destroy Israel. In recent months, and despite the severe blow it sustained during Operation Rising Lion, the IDF identified that the regime continued efforts to advance production, fortify and conceal its nuclear program, alongside rehabilitating its missile production processes. In the months preceding the strike, close and joint planning was conducted between the IDF and the U.S. military, enabling the execution of the broad strike in full synchronization and coordination between the two militaries. The IDF will continue to act to remove any emerging threat against the citizens of the state of Israel anywhere and at any time. Even at this hour, the Israeli Air Force jets continue to strike targets across Iran based on precise intelligence. Operations will continue as required. And we are starting to get a fair amount of footage coming out of Israel showing the effects of these strikes targeting soldiers near some of the missile launch locations and number of mobile missile launchers being taken out. The U.S. official said that Israel is focused on targeting the Iranian leadership, whereas the United States is targeting military facilities and ballistic missile sites that pose imminent threat. They added that the U.S. military is not targeting Iran's leadership. And I want to say real quick, I think this is the first time we've had a deliberate operation like this planned and carried out by the United States and Israel. Israel, no doubt, was involved in Operation Midnight Hammer. The lead up to that was only made possible because of Israel's effects during the 12-day war. But in terms of the coordination in airspace, States. American and Israeli jets overhead firing at targets at the same time. I think this is the first time this happened, or it's the first time in a long time. So this is historic. Now, in terms of what we know so far that has been hit in U.S. and Israeli strikes, it looks like the Iranian Ministry of Intelligence, the Ministry of Defense, a handful of military commanders' offices, the Iran Atomic Energy Organization, numerous government and judicial authority buildings, as well as the home of the supreme leader, shown here. So clearly that was destroyed. Not to suggest that he was necessarily there. Likely he's been underground for some time, but it does look like that Khamenei was the focus of at least one significant Israeli operation. And they, as of right now, are assessing that he very well may have been killed. Quoting the Times of Israel, they say Israel assesses that Iran's supreme leader was likely killed in an Israeli strike earlier today. They're quoting Channel 12, citing unnamed Israeli sources. It says there are growing indications to this effect. There's no official confirmation of this report. The TV station had said minutes earlier that the Israeli assessment was Khamenei was hurt at the very least, and that this was not an assessment based on satellite imagery, but rather on information from unnamed sources. So it's not a matter of look at houses destroyed, so whoever's in it must have been killed, because we know that never is perfect in terms of battle damage assessment, but rather someone on the ground. It's kind of what they're saying. They have sources inside Iran saying that Khamenei may have been killed. I've not seen anything to this point inside Iran even addressing that claim, for what it's worth. Now, in terms of what we've seen so far and what we see coming here in the near future, it's likely that U.S. strikes were focused on clearing out the airspace and air defense assets to allow for follow-on waves of manned aircraft. I believe in terms of aircraft overhead at this point, we know Israel has put some aircraft up. U.S. unmanned craft have certainly been overrun. There's a Reaper spotted. A lot of Tomahawk missiles, so standoff munitions used in this first wave of strikes. When it comes to volume, we're able to put a lot of munitions on target over a short period of time. We're talking bombs, not missiles. Bombs are cheaper. We can stack more of them in an aircraft, and in most cases, a bigger boom. So the goal here with Tomahawk land attack missiles would be to clear that airspace, so we can put F-35s, and probably more F-35s, maybe some heavier bombers, all the way down to F-16s, non-stealth aircraft flying overhead, able to strike these Iranian targets over the long haul. Now, looking at the Iranian response here, their foreign minister, I should note, mentioned that a primary school is one of the only things that's been destroyed so far. The only thing that they called out. And to be fair, Iran is not going to showcase their missile facilities or their nuclear facilities getting hit. So from Iranian media, right now, what's kind of leading charge is that a school was hit. The foreign minister said it was bombed in broad daylight, packed with young pupils. They said dozens of innocent children had been murdered. The crimes against the Iranian people will not go unanswered. This is the kind of thing that's important to see and important to hear, because it's going to play a large role, whether this is accurate, exaggerated, or just completely made up. It is already playing a big role in Iranian propaganda and how they're viewing this conflict. So it's important to see this kind of stuff, even recognizing the role that it is designed to play. In fact, we've got even more aggressive take here from the foreign minister in a minute. But we did get news just a few hours ago that the Iranian IRGC, or Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, has announced the start of Operation True Promise 4. We've seen this with the launch of missiles and drones over the past few hours. They said missiles and drones of the IRGC have targeted headquarters of the 5th Fleet of the U.S. Navy in Bahrain and other American bases in Qatar and the United Arab Emirates, in addition to military and security centers in the heart of the occupied territories, talking about Israel, with powerful strikes. Quick note, let's get into what we've seen targeted so far, and go back to the foreign minister. Right now, again, targets all across the Middle East that Iran is going after, showing how vastly different this is than the 12-day war. We know at this point at least 35 ballistic missiles, according to Fabian, have been launched against Israel. It sounds like some of those were intercepted with air defense. We're not getting Israel's on this obstacle lockdown. It's crazy, especially compared to the 12-day war. Very, very little information coming out of Israel in terms of these missiles, even the missiles being shot down. Like, we're just not seeing that footage right now, which is different. So any reports of damage inside Israel, the only ones I've seen so far, appear to have been old footage, repurposed to be intentionally misleading. So be very careful at this stage with any battle damage assessments anywhere. Now, in terms of what Iran has targeted so far, we have seen, now placing the videos here, what appear to be confirmed hits on the U.S. 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. We've got strikes, the elevated air base in Qatar appears to have been targeted. The U.S. air base in the UAE, it looks like Kuwait may have taken some missiles as well, and maybe others. I saw some kind of sketchy footage that may have shown a missile impact near a U.S. air base in Jordan. We know that U.S. air defenses were active near Erbil in Iraq, so everything, right? Trump's plan here is to change everything. Iran's plan is to strike back at everything possible. And as I'm recording this, we just got new notifications that another wave of Iranian missiles is being fired. So it looks like this, by all accounts, is just beginning. Another Iranian response here that we're keeping an eye on is their proxy network. So the Houthis down in Yemen have signaled their support. They talk about how they will avenge Iran. They're on the side of Iran. We've not seen them taking action at this point. What I would expect that the Houthis step into this is focus on U.S. naval warships in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, and kind of trying to shut down any commercial shipping in that area again. At the very least, distract the United States or harass our warships in the area. I'd be surprised if the Houthis, it's possible, be surprised if they start slinging munitions at U.S. bases just from a different direction, although that is a possibility. In terms of the militias, Kataib Hezbollah, kind of the largest and most powerful Shia militia aligned with Iran, issued a statement earlier saying, quote, we will soon begin attacking American bases in response to their aggression. Now, I don't want to pin this as worst case scenario, but it becomes a very challenging scenario when the Iranian proxies, if the Iranian proxies were able to coordinate in some manner and start attacking all at once. So when you're talking proxies, that's Hamas largely great at this point. Hezbollah does still have some significant capabilities. Notably, in the recent days, Hezbollah has said that they are not going to attack the United States or Israel if there are limited strikes on Iran, but going after Khamenei, they said, what their red line? It appears now whether or not Khamenei was actually killed, he clearly was targeted. We'll see what Hezbollah's response is to that. You got Hezbollah, you got Houthis, you got a number of militias across Iraq and Syria that could not inflict a strategic blow against the United States or really even Israel, but make things very, very challenging, much more complicated if U.S. bases in Iraq, especially, and other portions of the Middle East, are constantly having to deal with small drones in addition to watching out for larger Iranian missiles. Now, in terms of an assessment here, looking at Hamid Desra Azizi of Middle East Council, he said Iran's response has been unusually rapid. Missile launches reportedly began within a couple of hours with reported strikes in Tel Aviv and Haifa. The Iranian statement signaled that no red lines remain and their full force retaliation is underway. And that's something we talked about in recent videos, and it was reinforced when President Trump just last night said this is, in so many words, this is regime change. So that puts the Iranian regime on the ropes. They have to fight for everything. Negotiations, we got set those completely aside right now. They're supposed to go on here in a couple days, but right now Iran is in a fight for their lives. And the big question when we look at what comes next is how does Iran respond? One of the hopes in any military action is that those first bombs start falling, those first missiles start impacting, and the receiving end says this is too much. What do we have to do to get this to stop? We give up. That's one option. I think that was always a low likelihood of occurring, but that doesn't happen. The far other end of that spectrum is what happens if Iran doubles down. There's a number of scenarios we walked through in recent videos. Of course, we have the drone and missile strikes on regional bases. We've got the proxy networks. Less likely, but still possible, is the activation of organizations around the world, tapping into criminal networks to carry out what would essentially amount to terrorist attacks abroad. Again, Iran is not going to want to stand toe-to-toe, and they are not, and will not be capable of standing toe-to-toe with the U.S. or Israeli military. So you have to expect, if they do this as a war for their survival, they'll use everything at their disposal, and that includes tapping into terrorist networks wherever possible to carry out low-level attacks around the world. Now, another big question we're going to keep an eye on here in the next couple days. It sounds like the United States is planning on carrying out 1, 2, maybe 3 days of strikes, slowing down, checking out the battle damage assessment, and then trying to offer an off-ramp to Iran to negotiate an settlement. That's speculation right now because we're just about 4 hours into this campaign. But as of right now, it looks like the strikes are just beginning. And my prediction is that what we're seeing right now is the suppression and destruction of Iranian air defense assets from the United States as well as Israel. While Israel goes after some senior officials, the United States will very soon start going after nuclear facilities and or more military facilities with conventional air power, so non-stealth aircraft in the skies over Iran in the very short and very near future. That's all we got for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Of course, for weeks now, as the United States has been carrying out this enormous military buildup in the region, but simultaneously a diplomatic track was taking place. But this morning, that diplomatic track was completely cast aside in favor of this military action by the United States and Israel. We heard from President Trump making clear that this is not just about going after Iran's ballistic missile and nuclear programs, but setting the conditions for regime change. And we have heard similar comments as well from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. We know now that Israel is at a very heightened state of awareness. Most Israelis are either in their bomb shelters or very close by, awaiting the ramifications of this, as we are already watching Iran launch missiles not only here, but at other sites across the Middle East. Victor?
Jeremy Diamond for us there in Tel Aviv. We will get back to you in just a few moments. President Trump is monitoring the strikes from his Mar-a-Lago resort, and he calls on Iranians to stand up to their government and warns the fight could put American lives in danger. He also says the U.S. has done everything it can to keep American troops safe in the region. Earlier,
come on, bro. Come on. Yeah, we are doing everything we can to keep American troops safe in the region. By what? Fucking blowing up Iran? A country that has a ballistic missiles program specifically for this very moment. We're keeping them safe by like bringing them. We're keeping them safe by basically putting them on these like floating islands that Iran can strike. You know, that's it. They're basically missile sponges, dude. That's it. Just understand that your homies, your neighbors, your loved ones, your cousins, whoever the fuck's out there right now is functionally a missile sponge. They're drone sponges. They're missile sponges. They're just sitting there, parked outside, hoping that the anti-missile systems actually stop the Iranian pummeling. It's just so crazy because, like, everyone could have seen this from a million miles away. I mean, I talked about it for a fucking week. Like, it was so obvious that the entire negotiations process was a sham. The entire negotiations process was an utter sham. Everybody knew. Everybody understood that this was going to happen. It was an inevitability. It was going to happen. Because Israel wanted it to happen, and Israel has wanted this to happen for 50 fucking years at this point. Okay, not 50 years, but like definitely 30 years, right? This is like 30 years of American policy, American foreign policy, and Israeli foreign policy. It's finally happening at Israel's weakest moment, as far as like unlimited support from the West. Did you see what that pig kid starver said?
Earlier this morning.
Oh. They've been saying Iran is, you know, 2 seconds away from the nuclear bomb since like 1989. Okay, Benjamin Netanyahu is the guy who's been saying it. That's so crazy. Like, even the actors are the same. Here, let's look at this slave.
The United States and Israel struck targets in Iran. Iran has since launched indiscriminate strikes across the region. I know the British and communities across our country will be deeply concerned about what this means for security and stability, and for the fate of innocent people across the region, which for so many of us includes friends and family members. So whilst the situation is evolving very quickly, I want to set out our response. The United Kingdom played no role in these strikes, but we have long been clear. The regime in Iran is utterly abhorrent. They have murdered thousands of their own people, brutally crushed dissent, and sought to destabilize the region, even in the United Kingdom.
Like, by the time he released this statement, we knew that America and Israel had blown up a school, okay? Like a little girl's school. Like, when he says, oh, we must allow America and Israel
ICE are American heroes.
Iran and blow up schools because Iran is crushing dissent. Does that argument make sense to you? Does that argument make sense to you at all? By the way, I mean, it's just, again, slave, okay? Slave, cattle, slave. That's it. That's it. War criminal, cattle, slave, all of it.
Box
He
is
didn't
at fault.
also
When you
deeply
guys were on that
unlikable
show,
and
Loner Box.
pathetic monster. But I just look. I don't know where we go from here. Okay. I think it's virtually impossible for people not to look at the situation and wake the fuck up to the reality that this is completely untenable, completely unacceptable. I don't know. I try to, because maybe I'm a little too invested in this stuff. Maybe I'm a little too knowledgeable on this stuff as well. And I know what the real reasons are as to why we're doing it, and the average person doesn't. And the average person's perspective when I have a conversation with them is like, does this mean Iran has a nuke? Is Iran going to nuke us? Is Iran going to bomb us? Like, it's important for you to go out and talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, talk to your family, talk to your loved ones, explain to them carefully exactly why this is happening.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline.
Okay?
Thank you.
Exactly why this is happening. It has nothing to do with like security concerns. It has nothing to do with the Iranian population and its liberation. And the American government isn't even doing a decent enough job at presenting it as such, like lying. They're not even lying. They're not even offering us the dignity to lie to our fucking faces, right? They're not even doing that. They're just straight up saying, we're going to war. Maybe we're going to liberate the Iranian people. Who gives a shit? Whatever, you know? Who cares? Shut the fuck up. It's for oil. It's for the military-industrial complex. It's so that America and America broadly can control this entire region and have no sovereignty whatsoever in this region, because sovereignty in this region actually stops Israel from developing the greater Israeli project, taking over territory in Lebanon, taking over sovereign soil in Syria, taking over maybe even pieces of Egypt and Saudi Arabia, right? That is the ambition for Israel separately. And the ambition for America is to let Israel do whatever the fuck it wants in the region, because they think this still aligns with their interests. And whoever dies in the process dies. It doesn't matter. Americans who die in the process, sorry, you died for the almighty dollar. You died for the petrodollar. You died for dollar hegemony. There's nothing you can do about it. Maybe we'll offer you a little medal at the end of that journey, you know, so your family can fucking cry and look at the medal and think, oh, you died you died a dignified death. Okay? When you go out there, many people in this community and elsewhere in the United States of America have joined the armed forces because they just simply want upward social mobility. They don't get it any other way. They have to sell their soul to the fucking Pentagon. They have to sell their soul to the United States Department of Defense, because they think, oh, I'll just go there. I'll do one tour. It'll be fine. I'll come out of that. I'll get a fucking comms degree from my local university, my state university, and then I'll enter the same fucking dog shit job market that everyone else is suffering in, with the hopes that I can have a job, with the hopes that I can maybe have a roof over my head and some upward social mobility. The best case scenario in this situation is you go out there, you get like maybe a little bit of PTSD, you come back, and you actually have a job until AI takes it away from you. Now you have to live with a lifetime of crippling mental illness, crippling PTSD. But just know, when you're going out there and you're putting your body on the line, you're doing it for the pedophilic cabal of elite billionaires that control every facet of society, so they can make super profits over and over again. So they can extract the materials, they can extract the rare earth minerals, they can extract the natural resources, oil, right? If you want to simplify it, and they can make the money. Yeah. In worst case scenario, they'll tell you your injuries are not service related. There's that too. And some believe the liberty and justice narratives. Some do. I'm sure if you're a veteran, you've met them, you've encountered them, maybe you believe them at some point. Maybe you were like, no, we're fighting for free speech, brother. How many doors do you have to knock down in Kabul before you realize, like, maybe there wasn't really a free speech component here? You know what I mean? Sitting inside of a fucking forward operating base in Korengal Valley as you hear pot shots from afar, IEDs exploding, friends of yours getting their dicks blown off because the American military didn't put sufficient armor underneath the fucking Humvees. They didn't think that roadside bombs would actually be a significant threat. You see your buddies get their legs blown off inside of a Humvee. Someone made money there. Not you. Someone else made money. Right? A contractor made money. Now your dick's blown off. Now your leg's blown off. You come back, you're like, what am I supposed to do? My life is fucked. Why did you do it? Did you do it to defend freedom? Is that what it was? Whose freedom were you defending?
Oh my god, you guys seen this?
I'm from PR. I served in the Middle East when Israel started war. Gaza, I've lost buddies, lost to the suicide too. I'm fucked up in the head. This shit's making it worse. I served because I was broke, you know, Puerto Rico situation. Knowing I fucked up my body and mental for Israel is driving me insane. Okay, there is a fucking productive thing that you can do, for the record, which is organize. Get other like-minded individuals that have been in the same fucking conditions and ensure that no one else gets duped and suckered into the same predicament ever again, okay? That's what you're supposed to do. Your lived experience should help you help others, okay? You can't give up. And I promise you, when you actually engage others with similar issues like that and you try to correct it, you try to offer atonement for the shit that you did that's like fucking up your brain now, you're gonna feel better as well. It is gonna be more productive for you. And slowly but surely, you work to the best of your ability to make things right, to ensure that there aren't new, younger generations that fall into the same fucking trap. You're an outlier, but let's not larp like this community actually cares about the stories of veterans and our experiences, bro. Lost 60% of the chat wants and wanted us dead from the top. Okay, calm down. I also go back and forth on this because it's just like I don't want to hear the fucking sob story every goddamn day either, okay? And that's not true. Half of the community are already like either fucking veterans themselves. It's like, yes, half of the community is like, oh yeah, every veteran, every imperialist soldier deserves death. And then the other half is like, I was an imperial soldier and I kind of agree with what the people are saying, but I also do feel kind of fucked up about what I had to do. So calm down, okay? I don't care about what you've done. I care about what you're doing now. Do you understand? I don't care about what you've done. I care about who you are as a person now. Your lived experience and the things that you've done should motivate you to do better. And as long as you're doing that, as long as you're trying to stop others from falling into the same trap that you fell into, as long as you use that lived experience to ensure that others don't, as long as you use the training in the future potentially, it's fine. Do you know why North Korea is trending? Yeah, because they have fucking nukes, and therefore they don't have to deal with this shit. Okay? That's probably why they're trending. Like, motherfuckers will say, do nothing, win, but the reality is you have to do something. And that something is develop nukes. That's it. Nuclear sovereignty is the only way that you can exist as a nation in the periphery without American and sometimes Israeli intervention. Vague posting imperialists. I think Americans are going to manufacture consent for the Iranian intervention. I don't think I think that they're wrong. If they think they'll be able to get away with manufacturing consent for this, I suspect they're wrong. One, I think the propaganda apparatus has been crippled I think the propaganda apparatus doesn't have the same motion it once did. Okay? I also don't think that the American government is even invested in doing any sort of propaganda to justify or to manufacture consent. You don't even need it. You don't even fucking need it. What did Zoran say? Oh, God. Today's military strikes on Iran carried out by the United States and Israel mark a catastrophic escalation in illegal war of aggression, bombing cities, killing civilians, opening a new theater war. Americans do not want this. They do not want another war in pursuit of regime change. They want relief from the affordability crisis. They want peace. I'm focused on making sure every New Yorker is safe. I've been in contact with our police commissioner, emergency management officials. We are taking proactive steps, including increasing coordination across agencies and enhancing patrols of sensitive locations out of an abundance of caution. Additionally, I want to speak to Iranian New Yorkers. You are part of the fabric of the city. You are our neighbors, small business owners, students, artists, workers, and community leaders. You will be safe here. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Like, thank God. I thought he was gonna. Thank God. Thank fucking God. Okay, Jesus Christ. Imagine he was like, hey, now is not the time. Guys, I want to keep Israel in my heart. As Israel and America is blowing up little school children in Iran, I just want to say, please don't say anything that it might offend the sensibilities of those who are actually championing this death and destruction campaign at the best of Israel and the Epstein pedophilic cabal. That would be very unkind of you. And perhaps the only thing that we should care about, okay? AOC statements, the American people are once again dragged into a war they did not want by a president who does not care about the long-term consequences of his actions. This war is unlawful, it is unnecessary, and it will be catastrophic. Just this week, Iran and the United States were negotiating key measures that could have staved off war. The president walked away from these discussions and chose war instead. President Trump flippantly acknowledged the possibility of American casualties, stating, that often happens in war. Mr. President, this was not an inevitability. This is a deliberate choice of aggression when diplomacy and security were within reach. Stop lying to the American people. Oh, yeah, I'm going to talk about Israel doing Israel shit again. They struck an opposition figure that was under house arrest. Luckily, he's still alive, but that's crazy. Anyway. Violence begets violence. We learned this lesson in Iraq. We learned this lesson in Afghanistan. We're about to learn it again in Iran. Bombs have yet to create enduring democracies in the region, and this will be no different. In moments of war, our Constitution is unambiguous. Congress authorizes war. The President does not. I will do my part to uphold our Constitution by voting yes on the Representatives Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie War Powers Resolution. Every member of Congress must join us in rejecting this aimless war. I will say,
like all of you, I woke up this morning to the terrible news that Donald Trump had taken up.
Yeah, I was talking to Abdul last night.
Yet again to war with Iran. Ask yourself who this benefits. It doesn't benefit you or I. It doesn't make our grocery prices any cheaper. It doesn't address the fact that our healthcare is more expensive. It doesn't make home ownership more attainable. All it does is change the subject, distract us from the broken presidency of Donald Trump. This is a man who ran on America first, ran promising that the era of regime change wars was over. And now he's just taken us into another foreign entanglement, the third one this year alone. This is Trump admitting that he cannot solve your problems. He will not even try. Instead, when those problems get bad enough, he's going to distract you.
100%.
How do I get my boyfriend to snap out of the Western work and be good mindset? I know he's smart enough to understand this, but he just won't. Is he cattle? Does he sometimes go, like when you bring him treats? Do you sometimes smack him in the ass and he just gets really excited and runs away, runs off into the distance, galloping around? Does he go, Because you might not have a boyfriend. You just have livestock at that point. I'm just saying. Okay? How do I get my boyfriend to snap out of the Western work and be good mindset? Okay. Are you dating a Lockheed Martin executive? Are you dating Mr. John Boeing? Ask him these questions. Ask your boyfriend, are you Mike Huckabee? Because if you're not any of those things, it's not beneficial for you, right? It's not beneficial for you at all. Especially if you grew up in a rural area. He might literally be a cattle. He might literally be livestock. But if you grew up in a rural area, ask him, hey, don't you think it's fucked up that you don't have a rural hospital? Like the last time you guys had like a healthcare professional in this region was 35 years ago, and businesses have completely pulled out of this area. Everyone is poor as fuck. But it seems like there's always money in the bank to go to war overseas. Does that do anything for you? Does that do anything positive for you? Does that make you feel good? Why does that make you feel good? If it does, you know? These are the questions you can ask your loved ones. These are the questions you can ask your loved ones. Ask them. How does this work for your best interest? Because there's obviously a non-selfish argument to make, one that revolves around solidarity across the board, one that, you know, one that recognizes the dignity and humanity of those who are being slain by the Amer-Israeli Empire. But if people can't comprehend that, there's not really any good arguments to constantly engage in this endless warfare anyway. There's not really a lot of great arguments at all, as a matter of fact. I mean, fucking even the veterans that go out there recognize it.
He's going to distract you by weaponizing ICE on your street, killing American citizens, telling us that he's doing something about immigration while he's really just weaponizing and normalizing paramilitary force.
I'm going to have Jeremy Scale on to talk right now.
He's going to take us to war. War with a nation of 93 million people that's got serious ammunition and artillery behind it. We don't know where this ends. But what this is normalizing a chaos because he can't actually deal with the problems in your life. This is an illegal war. There is no justification for it. He didn't even try to justify it to Congress. He had every opportunity in his State of the Union. He didn't. He's not trying to justify it to the international community because, again, there is no justification. Who benefits from this? How many American women and men are going to get broken over wars we never should have fought? How much of our time and our treasure is going to be spent shedding blood rather than saving lives here at home? This is unacceptable. No war with Iran, and we are going to stand up every single day to oppose this.
All right. Jeremy Scale's in the building. Jeremy Scale of Drop Site is in the building. Esteemed guest. Welcome back, Jeremy. Unfortunately, every single time we have you on, it always feels like the world is collapsing right in front of our eyes. But it's still an honor to have you on nonetheless. Can you hear me?
Thank you for having me back.
Of course. So you guys, you just got done with your reporting. I believe you're in contact with some officials on the Iranian side, and Dropsite just revealed a couple hours ago, or your latest reporting shows, you know, a very different perspective than what we're seeing in mainstream media. But I know you're paying close attention to what's going on in the news. Let's get started with, you know, the I guess now almost 50-year project of Israel finally coming to a close. Do you feel like there is any? Do you feel like there's any argument that you've heard so far that made you go, maybe this is a real reason for why we're going to war with Iran?
No, and I think it has to be stated at the beginning, you know, just from an American perspective, that, you know, the Democrats, we've seen this coming for weeks and weeks, that Trump was going to move forward on this. And, you know, at Dropsite, we've been reporting on things that we've heard even from people within the inner circle. And one of the things we reported recently is that Trump has been kind of stomping around, even in internal briefings, making statements like, I'm going to go down as the president that forever changed the Iranian regime, and obsessively talking about the '79 revolution and the seizure of the, you know, of the embassy. And they've been, you know, this whole thing started on its surface in, you know, mid-January after the protests in Iran that then converted into very bloody battles and attacks in the streets of Tehran and other cities around Iran. And there's competing narratives about what happened there. But Trump seized on that moment in Iran and said, help is on the way. And of course, you know, the utterly discredited son of the deposed Shah, also was calling on Iranians to rise up and seize institutions. And then nothing happened in the immediate aftermath of that. And then Trump basically almost entirely stopped talking about Iran is brutal toward its own citizens and they're massacring their own citizens. You know, he was obsessively claiming that he had stopped all of these public hangings. But, you know, they basically dispensed with that, and then they resumed this talk about nuclear weapons. And, you know, every U.S. national intelligence estimate going back years had concluded that toward the end of 2003, Iran had given up its nuclear weapons ambitions. And then, in June, Trump conducted all of these strikes over 12 days on the 3 main nuclear sites in Iran. And then they said that they had completely and totally obliterated Iran's nuclear program. In fact, they created a special web page on the White House website to preemptively declare as fake news anyone that would dare to say, otherwise. And then last weekend, we had Steve Witkoff, Trump's special envoy. He and Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, are the point guys on all of this. Witkoff makes like a Dick Cheney-style statement and says, Iran is a week away from having industrial-grade bomb-making material. And they provided no evidence. It also sort of was like, well, wait a minute, you either totally obliterated the program or it's gotten so advanced that they're a week away from it. So they start obsessing about this nuclear thing. They're supposedly in negotiations again. Just what happened last year in June happened now, which is that they claim they were going to have another round of technical talks in Vienna, Austria on Monday. The Omani foreign minister last night was with Vice President J.D. Vance and said that the prospects for a